Action.
Yay.
So,
Take a guess. What number?
no clue. 41?
39.
No, it's close. Episode 39. It is May now, and turkey season will be wrapping up in a few weeks.
Yeah, Iowa's done like the 12th or something like that. It's early. It's like early this year.
And you're going to Wisconsin next weekend?
Like 2 weeks.
And I'm going to Rathbun fishing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go turkey hunting, fill my Nebraska tag next week. First part of the week. I don't know. It's just been so wet, just constant rain showers. It's made it tough.
Yeah, I seen your snap your backyard with standing water. And did you get that mowed?
Yeah, it's not good. Like I mean, legit. There was spots that the grass was like 18 inches tall.
Yeah, we've been mowing all the parks, and we mowed them all last week, and then this week you couldn't even tell that we mowed last week. It was pretty bad, but they look good now.
Even my front yard, I had to put my mower on the highest setting, and it still cut 3 inches. It was crazy. I'm gonna have to drop it down and bag it tomorrow. So, but it's supposed to rain. I don't know. I was all excited. I had a Tom on camera where I shot mine with my bow, and I'm like, oh sweet. Sophie doesn't have anything in the morning. Let's go. And she's like, okay, let's go. And I look at the radar, and it's like a giant red front coming through. It's going to hit like all Missouri, all of Iowa, like into Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm not going to complain about the rain. We've been in such a drought. It's really nice to get rain after rain. My yard looks nice and green. The food plots are looking good. Mine I need to mow, but it's really tall, so it's going to be tough. But yeah, the clover likes it.
Oh, the clover loves it. My clover plot's the best I've ever had, but I can't get into to do anything for the bean and corn prep. It's too wet to get a tractor back there or any of it. So it's like we need like a week with no moisture.
Yeah, it's a blessing though with the river. We'll probably be able to run the river this year, and who knows, maybe we'll catch another big one. But I think here there's 2 days last week that we've got like over an inch and a half of rain, almost back to back. I had water in my garage, but yeah, it's nice. It does suck as far as you trying to prep those plots, but we'll take it.
Yeah, like I said, we'll complain about it now, and then when we don't have any for 6 weeks in the middle of summer, we'll complain that we don't have all of our food plots are dying. So
yep, it is early. You got plenty of time. Seen the first Goslink of the year this past week, and seen some corn popping up yesterday.
Okay.
So it's growing season.
Yeah. Yep. No, I have probably half a dozen trail cameras out, and as cheap as plans are and as good a battery life as I have on some of my cameras, I have them on mineral, and I'm just like, I don't care. I'll pay the $5 or whatever a month to keep them running all summer. I mean, right now they're this tall, or I got a couple that have brow tines and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see. All of a sudden, a deer will show up at the end of May or first part of June and have, popping G2s already and be like, holy cow, what deer are you?
Yeah, I have a couple similar deer. I got crappy pictures of them last night on camera. Just like you can see half of what they have for a rack right now, and it's going to be fun. I'm excited to see kind of who shows up, and when that process, get past their G2, it's really fun to watch your cell cams and see who's around. And but yeah, farm prep is huge right now. You got seed down before we got all this rain. Didn't you interseed your clover? And
Yeah, that's like the least of my concern though, is the clover. I mean, the clover's so good. There's a couple spots like just stuff didn't grow. Whether I missed it the first time or whatever, there's little strips that are like a foot wide, 20 feet long that I seeded. And then I seeded that over my crossover a couple times. And I'm just gonna get a cheap bag like grass seed, grass, some shady patch grass mix to something that'll grow fast because I don't want anything to erode, at least get something there right away and then,
Yeah.
get some clover on there and all that good stuff. So,
Yeah. A lot of guys for soil stabilization use rye. So
yeah, I tried it all. None of it took.
yeah, it's kind of hard. I know the neighbor here down the road. He built his house on a pretty steep slope, and he's fighting that fight right now, trying to get something to grow. So with these rains we've got, a couple of the service roads that I manage, they're washed out more than I've ever seen. I mean, it's you almost need a 4-wheel drive to get up and down them. It's pretty bad. There's rock 200 yards down the slope just because that outburst of rain that we got, inch and a half in like an hour. It was
Well,
pretty.
and that's the problem. Like, I'm all for the 5, 6 inches of rain we've gotten, but it comes in such hard, like, groupings. Like, it's like an inch and a half here in this hour. It's, half an inch in 20 minutes. It'd be fine if it was like a quarter inch every night. That'd be great. But once again, we'll take it.
Yep. Yep. It's spring. I guess looking back to last year, we've got way more rain than we did then, I believe. So,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we didn't have hardly any rain last spring. At least nothing measurable.
yeah. Yeah. And I haven't needed to water my apple tree. I end up getting, what I get, 4 apple trees and 2 peach trees. And then Jen wanted a Granny Smith. So then I bought another apple tree to get a plant this weekend. And
Okay.
one of the guys that I've met a few times messaged me last night, and he's like, "Hey, I planted apple trees next to cedar trees before, and they end up dying. And I end up doing some research, and there's some kind of, I don't know if it's a pollen disease that a few of the varieties of apple trees it'll actually kill. So I have to do some cedar thinning in that area, which I have a chainsaw, so I can do that. But so that's on the docket too this weekend.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get on my farm at all this weekend. I still got a couple things I need to do that I can do. Um, like even like trying to spray and kill some grass. This is one thing I want to ask you. So I'm kind of, the area in the back of my farm that's like past the cedars. That's all just tall grass and weeds and crap that I want to put into a food plot eventually. My thought was kill spray it, like, and then no till in a brassica plot this fall. So
What is it now? Just brome?
just nah, it's, you remember the trail cam picture I had of Sophie's buck that had like the yellow flowers in it that are like 4 feet tall? It's not,
Probably goldenrod.
yeah, it's thinner stuff. I mean, it's really nice. I mean, it's a lot of, it's basically just grass. Yeah, brome and just nothing.
You can mow it.
So get in there and mow it and knock it down.
So a lot of these chemicals, if you were to just go spray it right now, there's going to be some resistance to it just because it's not actively growing. So I'll tell this to a lot of people: when you're trying to, let's say, your clover plot, you want to mow it, and then you want to come back and spray it with your Butyrac or your clethodim. So if you go and mow it, then kill spray it. You could even, this is what I mean, you've done this too, but go in there now, mow it, kill spray it, throw some clover down or rye or getting something established, and then come back. And I mean, you got all year or all summer,
Right.
late July, to put brassicas in there.
Yeah, this was more of like, I know like Brandon has had really, really good luck with like broadcasting into dead grass and getting great turnips. I know you've done it too. That's almost my thought for this fall, instead of like tilling it and making it black dirt, like go in, do that, and then also put, clover seed in it this summer, fall, let it grow, and then maybe I think I'm going to turn it into a clover plot.
Yeah,
That's my goal. It will be clover at the end of this
even if you mix it really, really hot, it's going to be tough to kill everything. I mean, if you go over it a few times, like if it's knee high, it's going to be very difficult. You can do it, but the best case, if you had a crimper, a lot of guys are using a crimper but you also have to buy one for the tractor, and that's a different process where it crimps the grass and kills it, and then that acts as a mulch. And I think Brandon, I would guess he probably mowed it once and then kill sprayed it.
Yeah, it was just like it was like growing over CRP in a spot, and he had done a couple things. Even like, I mean, I have that 4-wheeler ATV um disc that I can go over it a whole bunch, like, and not worry about it, and then mow it. And my goal is to get back there and mow, but it's in a spot where there's some multiflora rose growing through it, and then there's some smaller little thorn trees in there that I want to clear all those out. So like we talked like a month or so ago about renting a brush, like a walk behind brush hog. I might see if there's somewhere down there that rents them.
Yeah. Yeah. If not, Raccoon River Rentals has them pretty cheap for a day. I want to say like $40, $50.
Can I bring that up the back of my truck, or do I need a trailer?
You could probably take it up the back of your truck. It's not
Like if
very,
I have 4-wheeler ramps,
yeah, you could probably do that.
because I did that.
Give the guy a
that-
call. Super nice guy. He's got everything. I mean, if you wanted to rent something for the tractor, he would have it. But yeah, that would be your best bet, to keep it mowed. And then if you have to mow it once with that and then come back with a regular mower or our tractor.
Yeah, like I got that 4-wheeler mower in my Swisher that works great. It's just when it gets, I mean, it's so hard because it's belt driven. Trying to go over stuff with a belt driven mower can be rough if that tall grass. So,
Yeah,
but if I get it done once, it's just like everything else. If I can get it to the point of maintenance, I won't have an issue with it.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's like a DR brush hog mower.
Yeah.
And I've thrown around buying one, but I'd have use for it for probably 3 hours, and then it'd sit somewhere. So
Right. One of those things, if you had one, you could, or, you had, 4 or 5 buddies to go in and buy one and be like, hey, now we can all use it whenever. Just come and get it, or we'll put it at so-and-so's house, and hey, I'm going to use it this weekend. And shit, you could rent something like that out to, people.
yeah, and a lot of these, if you guys are listening, you can do poor man plots this way too. Very minimal tools like a throw and grow. You can do brassicas like Jesse talked about. It's really super easy. I mean, you can throw them in your gravel road or gravel drive, and they'll grow. So, yeah, it's definitely a prep, and then maintenance after that, and hopefully you have a little honey hole with a couple cameras up there come season.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. I mean, I have a couple other places to hunt, but I mean, I'm really excited about what could be, and I'm fully well aware that 2/3 of my farm is going to be worthless this year with the first year of CRP. I mean, talking to Nate about it, he's like, yeah, you just need to make sure that this year for sure is just a wash. Like, you would rather have all your prep work done and have it be basically like your yard going into year 2, and have all the, invasive stuff dead so that the CRP and the grasses and the forbs can grow through. He's like, that's more important than this year. And I'm like, no, you're right.
Do you know what mix that you're putting in? What program?
CP,
The quail buffer? Or?
it's the quail stuff, like 35, 37, 39. I can't remember exactly what it is.
But yeah, that's cool. That's exciting. I kind of look back. I made a couple of reels. It was last night, the night before, of my process with my farm, and it was kind of cool looking back to where it started to where now it's at right now. So it's one thing I think I would do different is I had a lot of trees and woody veg on that plot. I think I'd go back and rip it up. There's a couple tools. Morgan bought one. It's like a single row, basically root gripper, where it goes down, pulls up all the roots, and it makes a mess, but you're getting all those roots out of the ground. So
is that something you can still do?
Yeah, I could if I wanted, but I've seeded clover, and I just got to maintain that now. So
okay.
I'm
So
just
is that whole plot going to be clover in front of your hawk blind?
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm gonna try to get it clover and get it weed free, and then I'll mow it real short come probably a couple times before I seed and hit a rain right and maybe get some brassicas to grow in there too.
Yeah, I mean, that'll grow right through. And then, we've talked about this a lot with other people where they're like, oh, you don't put brassicas in clover. It's like, why not? It works great.
Yeah, if you can time it right, you can definitely get the brassicas to grow and not have the clover outcompete it. So
Yeah.
it's the process. Maybe the first year you do it, might not work, but over the years, it's worked for us, and we keep doing it. So
Yeah, it'll be nice. I talked to my uncle today too about what I need to do for my ag plots, and I'm like, hey, it's getting kind of grassy. Even though I sprayed it, I think it was just I ran out of stuff about 3/4 of the way through, and I think it was just to the point. I don't think the glyphosate was high enough percentage to do what I needed to do, or I was going too fast because I was trying to cover as much as I could with what I had. And so we're going to go in there and just disc it all up a couple times before we plant, and it'll all be Roundup ready beans and corn. So once stuff starts popping, I can go in there and just round up everything and hopefully kill all the weeds.
yeah, and another thing that people don't realize, volunteer. You can kill your cool season grasses using volunteer. Let's say your CRP had the brome came back and you're having a tough time. You could go in there right now or probably a couple weeks ago before everything else started growing and really kill that brome back. Brome is very tough to kill. We've nuked it with glyphosate twice on one of the prairie plots, and we're finally fighting it and doing some late burns to get it knocked back. And our prairies, our warm season grasses are coming back through. So there's chemical out there for a lot of different scenarios. You just got to do the research yourself and figure out what's best for your case. So I'm excited to watch your process, and I think you're going to document it pretty cool to have a YouTube video to show people.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of it. I've been doing a lot of like shorter like reels and posting it either on like TikTok or on my Instagram. Just, hey, I threw out some apple trees. Hey, I checked this. Hey, I'm cutting a few little of these things down. It's hard to do a lot of it yourself and really get some good film that somebody wants to watch. Um, I wish I would have did a little bit more, but at the same time, when we start doing, the actual deer prep stuff, it'll be a little bit more involved, and I'm going to try to get more into it.
Yeah, I agree. It's very, very tough filming by yourself, and there's a lot of YouTube creators that do that, and it literally is another job, and it's very, very difficult. So
Yeah.
yep, we both crossed that bridge, but looking forward to for the food plot process and kind of seeing, you had a pretty good year last year with your corn plot, and probably gonna do that again, right?
It from what it sounds like, all that's going to corn. He's planting corn in all of it like he did a couple years ago. I just hope that's on my uncle's farm. I hope he preps the soil and stuff correctly. Like, it hasn't been turned over in 15 years, and he also hasn't put a lot of implements into it as far as either fertilizer or killing the grasses and all that stuff. Like, we have rye that we planted 3 deer seasons ago as a cover crop, and it has seeded itself for 3 years. It's right now it's 18 inches tall.
The word you're looking for is inputs.
Inputs, yeah. You know what I meant.
Yeah, implements are what we have for a tractor.
I always say it, and then
I know I shit for it too. So, yeah, that's fun. I think that the team too. A lot of guys out there. Mitch, his clover plot looks really good.
It always does. It's probably he's probably getting a little worried about too much rain because that's on a floodplain.
Yeah, Mitch. Who else? Austin. His plot's always good. It's kind of cool to see how everybody does theirs different and what they're using and how they're doing it, and it's a fun process. It's part of it.
Everybody's kind of done it a different way because you don't always have the same means. Like there's like Greg Ryan, he's got a tractor. I mean, like a tractor that he plants his stuff in, and then we have guys that will just run along and,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
Christian, he made a little kill plot last year. He had some issues with landowners and stuff mowing
right.
it and yada yada. But yeah, you can do a poor man's plot up to what Greg Ryan's doing with with the tractor and some serious ag stuff. So
Yep. Yeah. And I think that's cool. And that's one thing I really like about our team is it's so diverse in what we do.
yeah,
It's different. You literally cross everything off the checklist when it comes to, you know, relatability, I guess would be the best way to put it. Because not everybody can relate to like Greg Ryan with a, huge tractor that you can plant, 30 rows in. But, some people may, oh, I got a four-wheeler, oh, I got a
or,
side by side, or oh, hey, I got this little tractor, or hey, I got a garden tractor.
yeah, or some people don't even do food plots and they just hunt public, which is totally fine. It's just
Yeah.
we're 24/7 365 trying to do something for deer. If you hunt public, that's awesome, but you can't do those things on public and um, like we can on private. So actually I was this past week, we kept getting the rain and rain. I kept harping on my father-in-law Jeff. I said, hey, can you get that clover plot mowed, just in case the turkeys show back up and I can take my son back out. So he got it mowed and it looks really good. So
That's good.
it's exciting. It's right next to 6 acres of lush alfalfa, so which I may or may not have sprayed for the guy because it was getting kind of weedy. So
Yeah, it's gonna get fun here pretty soon. Like I said, we're all some people are getting tagged out or turkeys or they're checking out of turkey season. And I fished for crappies earlier this week, the first time in probably like 3 years. I'm always just so busy turkey hunting, and I love turkey hunting. I think it's one of the funnest things to do when it works, but it's also really frustrating and sucks when it doesn't. But I enjoyed. I think I probably caught maybe 8 to 10 crappies. Got them all frozen and do a turkey and fish fry. And if I accidentally find a mushroom at some point, that'd be cool. But
yeah, I found some mushrooms planting the apple trees last weekend or the weekend before, one of the two. But yeah,
okay.
Jason and I got out and we caught some crappies too at one of our teammates' ponds, Nick,
Oh,
and
nice.
very very large. I feel bad for keeping them, so we've only kept a couple last year, so we haven't kept any yet this year. But it's a
Yeah.
pretty little spot to fish. I caught one 11-incher, so that was nice.
Yeah. I think all mine were right around that 10 mark, which smaller
Good.
than what they used to be,
Yeah, it's good.
but they'll cut.
Yep. So hopefully the big lake starts heating up and we can take the little John boat out and head to our super secret spot that everybody knows about.
Right. Yeah. We haven't done that in a while, and it'd be fun. I'd love to just catch a whole mess of frickin' crappies and fry them up. It'd be a blast.
Yep, and that way we get the boat out and make sure she still runs.
Yep, get her ready for catfishing. I'm excited. I think when I get back from Wisconsin, I'll start trying to catch bait.
There we go. I'll get you the poles so you can get them ready to go, and we'll hit the water.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I forgot what time we went last year. I have to look back on my phone, but the first trip we did, I mean, it was kind of chilly.
I'm not sure that we had one fish.
We caught like 7 or 8 fish, but one flathead.
Yeah.
It was like 40 pounds. It was a nice fish.
Yep, it's that time of year. But I guess we'll end with that, and it's kind of a lackluster podcast, and we'll maybe have something more exciting to talk about next one.
Yeah, I think I got a couple ideas what I want to do for videos to kind of keep everything going this summer to keep people's interest and whatnot. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for the one that we talked about, and that'll be cool, seeing that roll off the starting line.
There's a couple things that I think would be really, really neat that people would enjoy. So we shall see.
Alrighty. Thanks for listening, guys.
Yep. Have a good one.
We're doing